Hey guys, welcome back to Stuff and Things. Daniel here with some more news. I don't know if you guys have paid attention to the European Commission in the last, several. They tend to keep track of companies that they feel are violating antitrust laws and, whip into action. They've levied millions and millions of euros of fines against Microsoft. And their most recent target is Google. Of course, Google, the massive multinational now corporation, obviously a good target for possible antitrust issues. And the very specific thing that we got to talk about here today, because they have been in hot water for a couple things in regards to how their search engine works. The latest thing is actually specifically in regards to the Android operating system. Complaints filed by Fair Search Europe, apparently a group of Google competitors like Microsoft, Nokia, a bunch of places that are apparently directly in competition with them. Microsoft and Nokia. Who makes the most popular Microsoft 8 devices? Nokia. There's something to there. Basically, their point they're trying to go against Google is that because they have such a large market share, it's like 70% now, Android devices, Google actually apparently requires anyone who does sign up for Android that they have to put their apps foremost in program. So sure, Android, it's open source and everything, you can kind of tool it how you want, but what they're saying is that Google actually contractually obligates companies to put, their relevant apps like YouTube, the biggest one there is, YouTube, first and foremost on all their devices. So obviously this is like a little, if the company is trying to put forth its image, then it does have to do something. That kind of raises the point where we cross the line on these things. Like, the most popular complaints against Microsoft is that they do force Internet Explorer down your throat. You can't even just go to your all programs and click on Internet Explorer and just get rid of it. No, you have to go through this really elaborate process to get rid of it. That's how we deal with it in North America. Europe, they don't take that crap. They actually maybe take it into an extreme of looking after the consumers, but at least the government's actually trying to do something, maybe, to help out all the consumers. But if you want to play devil's advocate on that regard, and there's so many sides to this issue that you could pretty much choose any one, and you do have enough evidence to make a solid argument for any case. You could say that the European Commission is just simply using its position to get more money. Again, levies against Microsoft and antitrust were in the hundreds of millions of euros. That's a lot of money for Europe right now, especially some of their struggling nations. Helps them, get all that. Of course, companies like Microsoft and Google and such could actually take that, maybe being a little cynical in that regard, that is literally just a cash grab onto their cases. One of the most difficult things for us to do as consumers is really see who's guiding what. Right? There's the stupid Ayn Rand with the invisible hand of economics and all that. It doesn't exist. There's always a hand, but we don't know where it is. Is Google in a position, because they are the most relevant search engine on the planet, are they in a position to hold that much sway over the market that they can then control and choose what they want, because they can just say, okay, you didn't like us, well now we're not going to put you in our search engines anymore. Are they doing that? Possibly. Corporations are trying to get more money. If more searches do what Google wants, then Google makes more money and yada yada. People toe the line, they get benefits from Google. Those that don't, well, they wash away. Now, when you're talking about the dominance of the Android device, it's a little harder to get in that. Sure, Android has now exploded on tons of devices, but is it only receiving this direct attention because of the fact that it is a operating system that runs on a bunch of devices? There's no Google, well, there was that, it didn't do very well, but there was that Google phone, the Nexus. That was it. There was one Google phone, and then the rest were all made by all the different companies. Versus where you have like Apple products, where you have Apple, and that is it. You don't run iOS on any other device, but you run Android on tons of devices. And it seems like there's one of two things happening. Either straight up, it's literally just the invisible hand of the economy. People are voting with their monies that they like Google and everything. They like the Android operating system and everything. A lot to love about it. Lots of free apps, lots of openness, great for developers, everything. It's very friendly in that regard. There's a couple other things, but anyways, is it getting such a huge market share just because everyone's buying it and the pressure is there? Or is it getting such a large market share because Google is giving incentives to companies to use the Android operating system, and then, you know, using the carrot and then the stick, and they're giving them the carrot of the Android device, they're giving the carrot of this huge market share, but at the same time they're just beating them with the stick of contractual obligations and requiring them to do things. Really don't know what's going on here. I don't even think anyone has enough information except for the CEOs of Google. That's kind of where I want to bring this back to, because honestly, I'm not really sure where I stand on this. I'm always instantly kind of distrustful of anything Europe does, because they're a little crazy. No offense to you European guys, but your governments are messed up. It always takes us North Americans to straighten you guys out, alright? Yeah, no, okay. Again, I'm kind of torn. European Union, on one side, if they are actually being altruistic in this regard, they're actually trying to protect consumers. Again, they're very strong on this. They've done stuff against tons of companies to try to get them to toe the line and actually increase competition, try to make the market a healthier, more stable environment. Or are we just being cynical in this? Is Google doing nothing more than what the people want, and then Europe is not recognizing this? The European Commission there is not recognizing this, and they're just looking for another cash grab like they've done with Microsoft and everything in the past. I'm not really sure where to go on that. I would love to hear you guys' opinions on one way or the other. If you're, hey, Google's not that bad, even though they are a corporation. Can't give corporations too much leeway. But of course, governments are also kind of corporations. So, just let me know what you guys think on that. Let me know in the comments down below. And of course, like usually, don't forget to like, subscribe, all that jazz and stuff. And we'll check you out in the next video. Thank you.